What if your next flip phone let you do almost everything without even opening it? That's the kind of future Samsung seems to be aiming for with the Galaxy Z Flip 7, and thanks to a newly leaked hands-on video, we finally get a real look at the major change that might make this phone a must-have. The big highlight? An absolutely stunning edge-to-edge cover display that now takes up the entire top half of the phone. This is a huge step forward compared to previous models, where the cover screen felt more like a bonus than a real feature. In the video shared by a trusted source, you can clearly see how much more useful the cover screen has become. You can scroll through pages and widgets right from the outside display, and there's even a small area next to the cameras that shows the date and time, making quick glances more convenient than ever. There's also a small white dot that looks like it might notify you about unread messages or alerts. This unused space near the camera could eventually become the spot for a new Now bar, something Samsung might use to show things like music controls or countdown timers, but we'll need more details or an official announcement to know for sure. What's also exciting is that Samsung hasn't just focused on the outside. The inner screen, the main foldable display, is getting a boost too. It's now 6.9 inches instead of 6.7 inches, which might not sound like much, but that extra screen real estate can make a noticeable difference when watching videos, browsing the web, or using split-screen apps. From what we see in the video, the screen borders, which help protect the display when folded, haven't changed much, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Those borders have a job to do, and Samsung seems to be keeping them just thick enough to do it. Then there's the design. According to reports, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 is 0.8 mm thinner when folded and 0.4 mm thinner when unfolded. Compared to the Galaxy Z Flip 6, that may not be easy to spot in the video, but it still shows that Samsung is continuing to refine its foldable design with every new model. It's all part of making the foldable experience feel as normal and seamless as a regular phone, just with more flexibility. The truth is, these aren't just small cosmetic changes. The improvements to the Flip 7 show that Samsung is pushing hard to make foldables more practical for everyday use. An expanded outer screen that lets you get things done without opening the phone, a larger inner display for everything else, a thinner design that's easier to carry. These are the kinds of changes that could finally convince more people to switch from traditional smartphones to foldables. Is Samsung about to win the foldable race once and for all? With Galaxy Unpacked just around the corner, it looks like the Galaxy Z Fold 7 might be the device to watch. Real-world photos of the phone have just surfaced online, and they are already turning heads. The images, leaked by a well-known industry insider named Jukin Choi, show off a sleek foldable phone in a dark blue finish, which might be officially called Blue Shadow. This early look confirms a few key design changes that fans have been waiting for. First, the camera rings are gone, giving the back of the phone a cleaner, more refined look. Second, the phone appears to be extremely slim when folded. Reports say it measures just 8.9 mm thick, which would make it one of the slimmest foldables ever made. That alone makes it feel futuristic, but it does not stop there. Although the 8-inch main screen was covered with a protective film in these early images, we already know Samsung has worked on reducing the crease, one of the most common complaints about foldable phones, and even though we cannot see the crease clearly yet, the buzz around it being far less visible this time is hard to ignore. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 is shaping up to be Samsung's most advanced foldable phone yet, and not just in design. It is powered by the new Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, the same one found in the upcoming Galaxy S25 series. That means this phone is not just pretty, it is powerful. Still, it is not all perfect. One thing some users might complain about is the battery. The Fold 7 is expected to have a battery capacity of 4,400 mAh, paired with wired charging at just 25 watt. In today's market, that may seem a little underwhelming, especially when other brands are pushing 40 watt or even higher. But when you consider the thinness, the upgraded processor, and the refined design, it might be a fair trade-off. Compared to last year's Galaxy Z Fold 6, the new Fold 7 looks like a major step forward. In fact, it makes the Fold 6 feel old already. Other foldables, like the Honor Magic V5 and Oppo Find N5, used to have a clear edge, especially with battery life and hardware. But now, Samsung has closed the gap. The Honor Magic V5 still offers a larger battery and promises 7 years of software updates, which matches what Samsung is offering, so it remains a strong alternative. Still, if you like Samsung's One UI and want something slim, fast, and polished, the Fold 7 might be the better pick. What makes this release even more exciting is the timing. The foldable market has slowed down a bit lately, but phones like the Fold 7 could change that. Is Apple about to miss its chance with the first foldable iPhone? That question has been floating around more and more lately, and for good reason. While perfection is often praised in art or design, trying too hard to get everything just right in the tech world can backfire, especially when the market moves this fast. Apple has always been known for polishing its products over time, and after 18 years of iPhones, it is still refining every corner and edge. But when it comes to foldable phones, that perfectionist approach might be hurting more than helping. We are still waiting for the first foldable iPhone, while other brands like Samsung, Motorola, Huawei, and Google have already tried their luck. The big problem is that the foldable market, once full of excitement, is starting to slow down. Back in the year 2022, global shipments jumped from 9 million units in 2021 to 16 million, and the next year was expected to hit 26 million. But instead, the number for 2023 only reached around 18 million units. Now, it is hard to even find solid figures for 2024, which makes it seem like the earlier predictions were way off. Reports already suggest that 2025 might bring a decline in demand for foldables. That is not the future companies like Samsung or Huawei had in mind. And for Apple, this slowdown puts extra pressure on whatever it is planning for the iPhone. Fold, Apple is famous for taking its time, and sometimes that works out. But with foldables, the window of opportunity might be closing. If they wait much longer, there may not be a strong market left to enter. And the foldables that are out now are not helping much. The new Pixel 10 Pro Fold is more of the same. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 is not bringing major upgrades. The OnePlus Open 2, it got cancelled. This does not paint a very hopeful picture. Apple could have stepped in this year or even last year with a solid, basic foldable that simply works. It did not need to be perfect, it just had to function well, look clean, and avoid breaking during the first week. That is what Samsung failed to do with its original Galaxy Fold back in 2019, but things have changed since then. Expectations are higher, yes, but so is Apple's ability to deliver. Right now, the problem is that if Apple waits until 2026 or beyond, it risks launching a foldable iPhone into a world that no longer cares about foldables. There was a time when Apple could afford to wait. That time might be over. The best thing Apple can do now is release a first-generation foldable iPhone that covers the basics.